How we going, guys? Liam here, back with another tutorial video, and thank you so much again for purchasing the ultimate monthly and annual budget tracker. Now guys, I do appreciate your support in purchasing this budget tracker. Now I hope this budget tracker helps you get on top of your finances, and this budget tracker is a whole lot simpler than the other ones because every time you update and change the amounts in the boxes, it automatically updates the report in real time, and you don't have to click a button to refresh all the data onto the actual dashboard now. So it's really nice and simple, nice and easy, and obviously you can change the period on the dashboard to a year or a specific month you want to look at, and you'll be able to view all your data from there. But the first important thing is the menu. So the menu is pretty much the key to getting through the tabs a lot easier than going down to the bottom. Makes the report feel a lot more interactive than the last one. And if you don't want to hear me yap on, there's also a guide tab which you can see here. You can always refer to it whenever you need to if you get stuck at any point. I've pretty much explained this in full detail, and it's a lot shorter than the other guides because it's a whole lot simpler of a budget tracker, and there's not a lot to talk about in terms of stuffing it up. So it's very nice and simple, very easy, and very hard to mess this report up. Now, the first tab you want to head over to is the budget tab. Now, obviously, as you can see, when you purchase the budget tracker, all my dummy data is going to be in the budget tracker itself. Now, to remove all the dummy data in one whole go, only delete the months values, don't go into the years because it's a calculation. So just highlight the data, hit delete on the keyboard, and there you go, all that data is now gone. And the same applies for the names as well, so you can just simply go delete, but I suggest just changing the names and adding new ones down below. That way it's nice and simple, but it's completely up to you how you want to use the report. The cash flow table you do not want to touch because it pretty much reflects all the data you've put into the income, expense, savings, and bills boxes. It takes all that data and inputs it up into here and gives you a leftover figure in terms of what money you should have left over every single month. And pretty much it's just your budgeted values. This is not your actual values as of yet, so keep that in mind. It's only predicted figures you expect to receive, you expect to spend, that you expect to come in as a bill, and that you expect to save as well. So it's very important that you add in your own figures and predict, I guess, realistically on this budget tracker. But pretty much once you've added in all your data, it's nice and simple. You can head over to the next tab, but there's an important thing I want to explain as well, because the bills table is a lot different from the other one because it has a due date box. Now, obviously it depends if you've got a recurring bill. It could be monthly, it could be 6 monthly, it could be quarterly. That's okay because you can have the table reflect that. Now, obviously, as you can see, I've put a bill every single month. Obviously, it's unrealistic for some types of bills like for water and electricity because usually it's quarterly for me. So essentially, if you're looking to have it not be reflected for a month and you want the value to be 0, you've got to put NA. So for example, say we've got a gas bill and it's every 3 months and it's not happening in January. If we put NA and hit enter, we head over to the dashboard. As you can see, it's just got gas bill. It's an upcoming bill usually, but it's not applicable for this month. So NA stands for not applicable. The reason why you've got to put NA is because if you put 0, it'll stuff up the bill calendar itself and it won't show any upcoming bills, and it'll show an error. And I'll show you what it looks like just now. So say for example, I put 0, it becomes a dash. We head over to the dashboard. As you can see, it says N/A, which means not applicable. It's not going to show us any of the data we want to see on the report. And what we got to do to change that is put obviously NA in order for it to show back up on the report, or put an actual value in for how much the bill is going to cost for that month. So make sure you keep that in mind. I do have that on the guide tab as well. It said somewhere down here along the way, so keep that in mind as well. But essentially, once you've added in your budgeted figures and you've predicted your figures for each month on how much you want to spend, how much you expect to receive, and how much you want to save, and how much is your bill's going to cost, you want to head over to the actual cash flow table. Now, obviously, you can delete all my dummy transactions to do that. Again, highlight all the data, hit delete, there you go, it's gone. You can add in your own data as well. But essentially, pretty much I'd suggest putting this in numeric order. It keeps it nice and simple. That way you're not getting mumble jumbled, but if you do want to find a specific transaction, for example, you can just hit on, if it's an income, for example, looking for our income, we're looking for our salary credits, there we go, and we're looking for the month of January, there we go, we can now find it a lot easier. So if you don't have it in numeric order, pretty much the filters here make it a lot easier to find that specific transaction. It's usually faster than finding it on a bank statement, because once you input it in here, you can just go ahead and find it in a matter of seconds, which I think is a very helpful tool to use as well. It does have a grand total as well of how much money is going through your accounts essentially as well. And to add in, obviously, your transactions, you can copy and paste them from a special file when you download your bank transactions. Or if you want to add them manually in, simply you just put 01, for example, 01 of 2025. It's got to be in that format. If you hit tab, what you've got to do then is you've got to put in what is going through your account. Is it an expense? Is it an income? Is it a bill, or it's savings? We're going to put savings, and we're going to put it as life savings. We're going to say we saved an extra, say, $100 this month, and there we go. Now it's going to reflect itself on the report itself. And obviously, once you've added in all your transactions and all the data you want to show on the report, any extra months, obviously, since I've only got January, will reflect on this table as well. You want to go and view the calculations tab. So this tab you do not want to edit whatsoever, because again, it's taking the data from the budget tab and the actual cash flow tab and recording it, and pretty much the real reason and the purpose of this tab is just to calculate and have the data reflect as graphs or tables or something on the report, or as a value. So do not touch this table. Pretty much all the data that you input will reflect on here as well. So as you can see, all our actual income is showing here that we received for the month, our actual expenses, savings and bills, and then obviously the budgeted amounts are showing here as well. Obviously here I've added in a little rates table to reflect our savings rate, budget rate to our actual rate. So it's another extra table that reflects itself on the report, which I'll go into more detail in a second. Income, expense, savings and bills, and the paid and unpaid bills also has a little programming feature here, so that way the bill calendar can detect what bills have been paid and what bills haven't been paid based off of what you've put in the actual cash flow amount here in your cash flow data table. But once you've obviously added in pretty much your budgeted and your actual cash flow, these are the only two tabs you have to edit yourself. You can head over to your dashboard, and as you can see now, it shows you what your budgeted expenses are, your budgeted bills are, and your budgeted savings are, and your budgeted income that you expect to receive this month. So it's got your budget breakdown, it's got your income allocation. So as you can see, since I have probably had a bit more bills, if I drag that out, there we go. Now it's showing our actual bills for the month and our actual savings. So that's a pretty cool little feature. So it shows you how much bills you've got, how many savings you expect, or how much actual savings you've saved for the month, and how much the actual expenses were. So it reflects on the table. As you can see as well in the bill calendar, we're not expecting to receive a gas bill, but upcoming bills is our car loan and our rates notice. So those are two bills that we'll be expecting this month. And our savings rate, as you can see, it reflects as a percentage in this little table down here, and then it's got your actual income allocation of where your money is mostly going to. As you can see, most of it's going to bills, second most to expenses, and third most to savings. And then there's an actual income sources pie graph as well, and then it's got your budget versus your actual, which shows how much income you've earned, and we've actually earned more income than we predicted. We've had less expenses than we predicted. We saved less than we predicted, and we've had less bills than we predicted. So it shows all that data, and it shows a budget versus actual expenses as well. So here we've actually spent on target for groceries, under target for transport, under target for personal care, and so on and so forth. The only place where we spent more is on entertainment, which was $250 compared to the $200, I believe. Yep, to the $200. So this report is very helpful to provide insights. And if you're looking to change the month you're viewing, obviously if you click on the month box, click on the drop down box, say we want to view February, all the February data will show up here. And as you can see, the bill calendar is now showing what bills are supposed to be due. And obviously, since I have no data provided for that, it's obviously going to show nothing here, nothing on the graph, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, and nothing even here. So pretty much the only value I've got is for January. But if you want to view it in a yearly figure, if you click on year, there we go. It shows you how, I guess, how well you've done for the year as well in terms of spending and saving and income wise and bill spending as well. So keep that in mind. It's a very nice and short and sweet tutorial today, guys. That's because it's a really simple tool to use to be able to track your expenses and be on top of your expenses. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial video. Obviously, if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my shop.